everyone, welcome back to today's video. We are going to be looking at some of the most popular hyped Middle Eastern fragrances to try and find out, are they better than the original, or is nothing like the original but the original? So if you are interested in having a little bit of fun with me and just chatting fragrances and dupes and originals and Middle Eastern scents and which one is better, please continue to watch. If you are new here, beautiful, welcome to the channel. I do hope you consider subscribing. We have lots of fun here and we smell good too. And if you are returning, hey friends, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Again, that does help for us to grow, and let's get right into this video. So in today's video, again, like I said, we are just gonna keep it casual, keep it cute, and have a little bit of fun with some of the most popular fragrances that are on the market and the dupes for them. And which one is better? We're going to be talking longevity, we're going to be talking projection, the notes, and all of the things. Of course, fragrances are subjective, so what works for you may be a little bit different than what works for me or the next person. But in my opinion, I'm always right. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But I'm going to talk to you about my opinion and, you know, what I feel about these fragrances and which one is better. So without further ado, let's get into a fragrance that I don't know which one the dupe is, whether it's the one everyone perceives as the OG or the actual one that people perceive as potentially the dupe. Fleur Majesty with Arua by Paris Corner. Okay. I happened upon this fragrance and immediately smelled it and immediately thought of a Fleur Majesty. I don't know who duping who here because this one came out first. She came out first, but they smell very, very similar. So for the sake of this video, because I don't have 4 hands to hold up the fragrance and the testers, I'm going to keep the original in my right hand and the dupes in my left hand. Okay. So this is Fleur Majesty. This is going to be your very juicy floral bouquet of flowers. The note breakdown for this is going to be rose, mandarin orange, pear. There's peony, rose, violet in the mid, and in the base there's vanilla, praline, iso e supra, ambroxan, super, and vetiver. This fragrance definitely is your projecting loud rose scent. It's a little bit heavy, gorgeous. Okay, that's going to be for your Fleur Majesty from Kayali. Now, Rua has a very similar note structure, but the breakdown a little bit different. Okay, there's a lot of juicy citruses in the top of this one. There's your peach, your citrus, your lemon, your bergamot, but there's chocolate in the top of this one. Now, there's chocolate in the base of your Fleur Majesty. There's rose, magnolia, freesia, all of the things inside of Arua Radiant Rose. And then there's vanilla, sugar, musk, and amber in the base. Now, I will say, when I smelled Arua Radiant Rose, it reminded me of Fleur Majesty. But in my opinion, they smell very similar, but they could almost be like flankers of each other because the Radiant Rose is heavier. She is heavier, a little more thick of a fragrance. And the Fleur Majesty, to me, wears more transparent, a little lighter wearing, a little more fresher. And it may be because of the ambroxan that is in the base of this fragrance. They are both very beautiful scents. They are both very beautiful scents, very rose dominant, heavy scents. But Rua is thicker, it's louder, and to be honest, even though the Kayali wears a little more sheer and a little more transparent, I've worn both of these since picking up the Rua, and I want to say the Kayali is outperforming Rua. Rua is heavier on initial spray, but she doesn't last as long as the Kayali does. Yeah. And I recently just wore her. I was sitting in another chair that's in my room, and I'm like, why am I smelling Fleur Majesty? I don't have that on. And I looked behind me and I had threw my jean jacket over the back of my chair, and I could literally, as I was moving back and forth, smell the fragrance. And it was on there either the day before or 2 days ago. It's probably the day before, but she was pumping and thumping and projecting. Okay, so I would say if Fleur Majesty wore a little too musky for you, because I know that it can do that, the Radiant Rose might be a better alternative because it gives the same or similar scent profile, but it wears a little bit more dense, if you will. And so to me, they're good. They're both good. Which one is better? How can I choose? I'm going to go with the original. I'm going to go with the original because I'm forcing myself to choose. I'm going to go with the original because it wears fresher and longer than Rua does. So the winner out of this matchup here is going to be Kayali's Fleur Majesty. Now, this dupe combo has been around for a while. It is beloved by all the girlies. I think that folks that have the original probably have the dupe and can interchange them, and it really, really doesn't matter. We are talking about Delina, Exclusif, and Club de Nuit, Imperiale. These two smell like almost like identical twins. Identical twins. Again, for the sake of keeping everything, straightforward, I'm going to keep the tester in my right hand, and for the original and for the inspired fragrance, I'm going to keep it in my left hand. So these are going to be your heavy rose lychee scents that have some woods to them, that have incense to them. There's a little bit of creaminess to the fragrance, and it's very rich and beautiful. So a lot of people love Delina Exclusif a little bit more than the original, and I am one of them. I don't own the original. I only have the flankers. This one in La Rose, the original just did a little too much for me, but love the Exclusif. So pretty. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be hard. So I gotta sit here and think about it, okay? They smell so similar. Okay, so the original Delina Exclusif, to me, smells more filled out. Like the body is filling out the outfit a little bit more. And I know that this one has oud in it. There's no oud listed in the Club de Nuit. And I don't know if there is oud in this fragrance and they just didn't list it as a note, but there is a little more body in Delina Exclusif. But literally, you have to sit and think and squint and close your eyes, spin in a circle to try and decipher the difference. There's also a little bit more creaminess to the original one. So the Club de Nuit wears a hair fresher than the original. So I think that just really depends on the wearer of if you want a more fresher option or if you want that creaminess. But when I tell you I'm pulling at straws and plucking hairs to try and find the difference, and all of these fragrances have dried down. So we are in the dry down of these scents because I sprayed them out on the cards and let them sit and dry on the tester. But you still get the tartness of this fragrance. You get the florals, you get the richness of it. The creaminess has started to come through. It feels somewhat bodied and bold, a little powdery, but it's stunning. I don't have to sell you on this fragrance. Everyone loves this. It's gorgeous. And the dupe, yeah, it's a little fresher. It's a little bit fresher. It's not as thick. It's not as creamy. It's not as woody. And I'm not saying that as though those notes are bad in Delina Exclusif. Delina's the original. She made up the scent. Now, if I'm going to be trying to decide who did it best, which one is better, is the dupe better or the original better? Honestly, it depends on the day. Like, sometimes Delina Exclusif, you want that scent profile, or for me, I want the scent profile, but she has a little bit much. And this one, Club de Nuit, gives me that same scent, but a little bit fresher. Now, I know I am forcing myself to pick one. I don't know. Do I betray her or do I consider my pocketbook? It's a tie. It's a tie. I can't do it. It's a tie. Delina Exclusif is so good. It's the original. I know it is. But she is a little bit much sometimes. Club de Nuit, Imperiale, because she got so close I mean, so close you can't even barely tell the difference. It has to be a tie. And the price point of this is like $30-$40. She wears so closely to the original. I just can't pick. I'm sorry, it's a tie, and you just gonna have to deal with it, okay? So we have a tie. Delina Exclusif by Perfumes de Marly and Club de Nuit's Imperiale. Okay, you guys, so I told you in a previous video or in a different video that you would be seeing this fragrance pop up. This is Tom Ford's Vanilla. Okay. This is a new pickup for me that I was influenced to purchase, but this is a beautiful creamy vanilla and almond scent that originally I was not necessarily fond of, but I've smelled it several times. I've worn it on skin, and it is a unique vanilla that wears somewhat light, powdery, almost a little bit transparent, but there's a lactonic nature to it, and also a very sexy nature to this scent as well. I have had the dupe for it for a while, and just recently picked up the original. This is Sehr by Lattafa. Baby, look at this weapon on top of here. When I tell you the lid weighs probably the same as what the entire bottle weighs, I'm not kidding. Like, it's super top heavy. But at either rate, this is a spicy vanilla and almond scent, and it's beautiful. I've worn this a few times. My juice has gotten so much more darker, I can tell, but let's test the testers. So Vanilla Sex has almond at the top. There's vanilla and floral notes in the mid, and in the base, there's vanilla absolute, tonka bean, and sandalwood. There's a third type of vanilla in here. It's called Ultra Vanille. So there's several types of vanilla in this fragrance, and you definitely smell that. You smell the richness, the sweetness, the creaminess of this fragrance. It's beautiful. Now, the dupe has some similar notes, but some are different. There's cinnamon in this scent. There's akigala wood in this scent. So this is a little bit more of a woodier, spicier type of wear, if you will. So the original gives creamy, vanilla, almondy, and the dupe gives more spicy vanilla. And the almond in here is not as creamy. It's almost like there's like a green almond, if you will. If you've ever had like almonds that are not fully done, like a green almond. Yeah, it smells a little bit more straightforward and less creamy, if you will. Honestly, smelling them side by side, they do smell very similar. And on the skin, they also smell similar, but the original wears creamier and softer and more seductive and inviting, if you will. Like almost as though the original would be like the feminine version of the scent, and then this would be the more masculine version. This is not, in my opinion, a masculine scent, but I'm just trying to give you guys some differentiation in the two. It's hard for me to say which one is best, only because I smell the differences as I'm smelling them side by side, and the wear is different. They smell like flankers just a little bit, just because of the more creamy lactonic nature of the actual original. I'm gonna have to give it to the original because the original is the original. This is an interpretation of the original, a very good one, more affordable, if you will. It's giving all of the vibes and is a little bit spicier. And I think I was also saying that this is kind of leans, if I was to compare and kind of give you guys an idea of, you know, which one is softer. This one seems a little bit more feminine. This one leans a little bit more, I would just say unisex. Unisex, anybody can wear, no problem whatsoever. Kind of like a camera. Like guys wear camera, women wear camera, angel share, everybody wear angel share. This kind of sits in that family, if you will. So I got to give it to the original. This is Vanilla Sex by Tom Ford, and the inspired fragrance is going to be Sehr by Lattafa. Now, when I say giving it to the original on any of these, all of these I like. Let's keep that a bean, okay? I like all of these. I like the dupes. I like the originals. I wear them all. But we're just doing a head-to-head match, okay? Let's move on. Okay, up next is going to be this duo right here. This is Burberry. Somebody checked me in the comments and said it's not Burberry, it's Burberry. This is Burberry Goddess and Angham by Lattafa. These are two very beautiful, very vanilla heavy scents with some lavender in them. That to me, these could be signature scents. They're very wearable, worn by anyone, and they are absolutely stunning. This is one of my favorite scent profiles. Easy to wear. I mean, easy to wear. You don't even need to think about it. You could wear it to a special occasion, running errands, you know, just in the house. Put this on. Vanilla in here is stunning. It's absolutely stunning. So let's get to sniffing on the testers, okay? So much like your Vanilla Sex and your Sehr combo, these are vanilla dominant scents. So there's 3 types of vanilla in the Tom Ford. There's 3 types of vanilla in Burberry Goddess. There's vanilla, vanilla caviar, and vanilla absolute. Again, both of these profiles have ginger and lavender in them. So this is gonna be the original. This is the inspired fragrance. Ooh, okay. So on the tester, Angham is popping a little bit more, okay? I think we're sprayed at the same time. I'm getting almost a warm, spicy vanilla, and it almost smells like there could be like a liquor in here. I know there's not like a cognac or a rum, but the richness of the vanilla mixed with the spiciness of the ginger, I think kind of gives that cognac type of vibe or rum type of vibe in a scent. The vanilla in here is sweeter. It's sweeter. Angham has mandarin at the top, and I think maybe that's what is cutting through the denseness of the scent profile, which makes it smell sweeter. I don't know, y'all. This is bad. This is bad. This is bad for the original. I think I prefer Angham, and I love Burberry Goddess. Yeah, I'm sorry. Angham is the winner on this one. The reason why is because the vanilla in here smells sweeter. It smells a little bit more seductive, and with the mandarin note in here, I think it makes it wear a little bit fresher. Now, might there be something else in this fragrance or a little bit less of something in this scent that is causing it to wear fresher? Maybe, but I'm going based upon the information that I have. This smells just a little bit more fresher and sweet. You still get all of the same DNA of your Burberry Goddess. Burberry. It just wears a little bit more beautifully to me, if you will. I still love the original. I still will keep her in the collection, but I'm loving the way this smells juxtaposed the original. So we have a winner here, and it is Lattafa's Angham over Burberry Goddess. All right, you guys. So last but certainly not least, and it is not what you think it's going to be, we are not including Bianco Latte in this video. Bianco Latte has been ranked to the gods, okay? She has been in every YouTuber's video. She's been in several of mine. We know what she smells like. We know what smells like her. We know all of the things. This is going to be a different one. This is Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid juxtaposed Lattafa's Atheeri. This little new release right here has hit the market and has driven everyone bananas, okay? Driven everyone crazy. This is a beautiful, beautiful scent, and it has some, I wouldn't say peculiar notes, but notes that you would not necessarily think about in fragrances. So we'll talk about the original first, and then we'll get to the inspired fragrance. But there's not a ton on Fragrantica. Vanilla, vanilla orchid, and ozonic notes is what this lists. Now, with regards to Atheeri, this opens with passion flower, dewdrops. In the mid, there's orchid and jasmine, and in the base, there is amberwood and vanilla. So there's a little bit more breakdown of the notes. And this note of dewdrops, I want to say this is my second time hearing about it. I think it's in Ave Maria by the House of Beau, and that's a beautiful scent as well. But let's Smell the testers. I love this. I love this. Now, I do have a couple of the gorgeous Floras from Gucci, but the gorgeous Orchid, it is my favorite. And it is projecting off of this tester so well. The florals in here, the vanilla is super sweet, and it does smell like something watery in this fragrance. Even though it doesn't list like a water note or a dewdrop or whatever, it lists an ozonic note, and so maybe that's what I'm sniffing. As far as Atheeri, she is a little less creamy to me. A little less creamy. The Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid smells a little bit more creamy than Atheeri does. They both have somewhat of like a powdery nuance, if you will, but Atheeri wears less, maybe it's the powder. It wears less powdery creamy, if you will. But both very, very beautiful. And Atheeri is very, very similar. Now, here's what I will say. I will say that if you didn't like this for any reason, you will love Atheeri. Let me turn her around the right way. Gucci Flora Gorgeous Orchid is a unique, beautiful vanilla. There are some powdery touches. There's some watery touches to this. I don't know if I'm, explaining this right, but there's a watery nature to it. It does get a little bit powdery. It's super sweet, vanillic, and floral. Atheeri is very similar. It's very similar, but the creamy nature to it, it's not as creamy. It's not as creamy. You still get all of the beautiful vanillas. You still get the powderiness to it. You still get the wateriness to it, but it doesn't wear as creamy. For some, that creamy factor can be a little bit cloying or, might upset your stomach if you don't like, lactonic fragrances. And neither one of these are lactonic, but there is a creaminess, which I think sometimes people associate with lactonic. So that's why I'm saying it that way. For me, I'm going to go with the original. I love the way she wears. She wears wonderfully for me. Beautiful on my skin. They both do, but I think this one projects a little bit more for me, and I don't mind that creaminess. I actually quite love it, if you will, but both of them can get it. Okay, both of them can get it. I'll spray them both. Neither one of them's going anywhere, but in my opinion, I think nothing has beat the original but the original. Alrighty, you guys, so that is it for today's video, going over some very, very popular, viral, beloved fragrances and the dupes. I had a couple, ties or draws or whatever you want to call it, because I could not make a decision. But let me know down in the comments, do you have a dupe and the original of something? What do you prefer? Are you team inspired fragrance, or are you, kind of like, nothing beats the original but the original? I like having the dupes for when I don't feel like spraying my bottle, but I'm always have the original in the collection. Let me know down below. I would love to hear from you. Please make sure you are subscribed to the channel. Again, that does help for us to grow. And as always, make sure that you are being kind to yourself. Make sure you're being kind to others, and a peace and love, y'all. The world needs it. Bye.